From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. At 6:37 p.m. on Monday, the Associated Press reported that President Donald Trump had announced a ceasefire in hostilities between Iran and Israel. The White House reposted Trump's social media post announcing a ceasefire between Israel and Iran with a photo of the president holding a red hat that says in all caps, "Trump was right about everything." At 6:48 p.m., House Speaker Mike Johnson praised the Trump administration for bringing about a speedy end to the conflict. "It is really a remarkable achievement," said Republican U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson. "President Trump deserves all the credit. This is what peace through strength looks like. We haven't seen this in a while, and it's a really big sigh of relief here on Capitol Hill." At 7:34 p.m., neither the Israeli nor the Iranian UN envoys had any comment to share regarding the ceasefire. Iran's mission declined to comment on Trump's ceasefire post, and the Israeli mission said it had no immediate comment. At 8:54 p.m., Iran's foreign minister said Iran will stop its attacks if Israel stops its airstrikes by 4 a.m. local time in Tehran. So far, it appeared as if everything was going along just fine on the path toward peace and that a ceasefire is forthcoming. However, at 9:08 p.m., the Iranian foreign minister described Iran as continuing its attacks until the very last minute. "Together with all Iranians, I thank our brave armed forces who remain ready to defend our dear country until their very last drop of blood and who responded to any attack by the enemy until the very last minute," Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said. At 10:16 p.m., Israel's military warned the public that Iran had, in fact, launched missiles towards it. The launch came after a promised Iranian halt to fire at 4 a.m. local time in Tehran. But then came this announcement. "As of now, there is no agreement on any ceasefire or cessation of military operations," Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi wrote on social media. However, provided that the Israeli regime stops its illegal aggression against the Iranian people no later than 4 a.m. Tehran time, we have no intention to continue our response afterwards. As of 10:36 p.m. U.S. time, the Israeli military announced that the public could leave the air raid shelters. The announcement signaled that the missile barrage had ended. It seems highly likely that the entire reason, Donald Trump sent the bunker buster bombs and Tomahawk missiles to Iran was to deflect, albeit briefly, from actions happening here in the United States. Immigration arrests seen on video are showing an emerging trend. More Border Patrol agents are doing their jobs far from the borders with Mexico or Canada. A Border Patrol agent was seen hitting a Southern California landscaper on the head and neck as he was pinned to the ground during an arrest Saturday. The Department of Homeland Security said the man swung his weed trimmer at agents. The man's son, Alejandro Barranco, a Marine veteran, said his father was scared but did not attack anyone. With border arrests at the lowest levels in about 60 years, roughly 20,000 Border Patrol agents are showing up elsewhere. Here are things to know about the trend. President Donald Trump's House-approved Big Beautiful Bill proposes $8 billion to increase U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement staff by 10,000 people. Until then, the agency primarily responsible for interior enforcement is relying on other federal agencies as it struggles to meet a daily arrest target of at least 3,000 set by Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Chief Architect of Immigration Policy. ICE, with only about 6,000 deportation officers, has found a ready partner in the Border Patrol, which is also part of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. It comes at a time when border arrests plunged to an average of 282 a day in May, after peaking at more than 8,000 a day in December 2023. Agents in the Border Patrol's Yuma, Arizona sector assisted ICE officers last week in Philadelphia. Justin De La Torre, the sector chief, said in a social media post. His sector averaged only 4 arrests a day on the Arizona border last month after peaking at more than 1,100 a day in May 2023. Greg Bovino, chief of the Border Patrol's El Centro, California sector, appeared alongside U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem at a news conference this month in Los Angeles, during which U.S. Senator Alex Padilla was forcefully removed, pushed to the ground, and handcuffed. The news cycle pivoted from ICE and Border Patrol agents to the conflict between Iran and Israel, just long enough for ICE to swiftly move into additional cities and start rounding up more and more legal immigrants and U.S. citizens. Meanwhile, the U.S. Supreme Court is perfectly fine with deporting immigrants who have committed crimes, not back to their country of origin, but to places like South Sudan. The chaos, confusion, and mayhem that the Trump administration has unleashed is happening at a dizzying pace. For someone who wants to put America first, he does not have a clue what America even stands for, such as offering freedom and liberty to those who come to our shores seeking a better life. I hate to burst their illusion, but to those who have come here under those pretenses during the Trump regime, you won't likely find a better life here. That's the news at this hour. If you are watching our videos on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the PEP Radio channel. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.